In this video, I'll be covering the formulas tab, so showing you how to create new formulas and manage your formulas. All right, so on the formulas page, if you're first starting out, this may be empty, but you see here, this is where all of your different services are going to be listed. And if you want to create a new one, you click new calendar or calculator, excuse me, and you're going to start totally from scratch. Now, you've really got three different ways you can get started. You can either do it from scratch, build everything out on your own. You can use a template, or you can use the AI formula generator to get started. And there's a few tips and tricks I'm going to give you once we get to that point. In fact, I'll have an entire video dedicated to the AI formula. I'll touch on it briefly here, but there's going to be a whole video dedicated just to that subject. So what I would typically recommend is start with the templates. If we have a template for your service, you can see we've got a few different templates for different industries. Choose one of those. If you don't see any that fit what you're looking for, then use the AI. And then the AI, I would highly recommend starting with it to get your base and then build from there. It makes it a lot easier. Of course, you can also start from scratch, right? So breaking it down, how the formula works, you've got the formula name right here. This is basically where you're going to put the service name, if it's roof cleaning, deck cleaning, whatever it may be. And then you've got the calculator title part. This is primarily for SEO purposes when you embed the form. So just put in house washing price calculator or something along those lines. Then moving on, we've got the icon section. This is where you can either choose a predefined icon. We've got a bunch of different icons you can choose from. And we're updating this also. Or you can upload your own. Or you can even paste an emoji in right here if you'd prefer to do it that way. And then you're going to add, here's a section for the description, and then some service highlights. This is going to be the bullet points that would display on the pricing card, just sort of trying to encourage the user to purchase or to move forward with the service. This is where you've got the option to add a guide video. So if you want to have a video for each specific service, you can add those here. You've got the option to add a service image to help the user, and then you've also got the option for a measure map. The measure map is useful if you need to know or need to measure square footage of anything, whether it be a house or patio or driveway or deck or whatever it may be. The measure map comes in pretty handy. You've got the option to add upsells, and I'm going to get into that in just a minute and show you how that works. Then you've got the section to add your variables. So this is where you're going to ask the questions, and then you've got the formula expression. This is where you multiply the variables to create your formula, basically. All right. So that's an overview of getting started. Now let me go ahead and dive into one of the formulas that I've already created. I've got house washing here. So you can see I've got house wash. I've got an icon selected. Price calculators. Probably should say house wash pricing calculator. I don't have a description here or bullet points either. Those aren't super necessary, although I'd recommend it. I also don't have a guide video. Again, not necessary, but it is one of those things that will definitely increase your conversions, make it easier for your customers to use. So it's not required by any means, but it is useful to have. Now I do have the measure map turned on, and I'm going to show you how that works in a minute. And I also have upsells turned on. So for house washing, one of the upsells that I have is gutter brightening. All right. That's a fairly common need after house washing service. A lot of times gutters will have those black stripes. So sometimes gutter brightening is a good option. Now, I would also add a description in here. This is just a demo, so I don't actually have it, but you'd want to explain in this case what this add-on is, why it's important, add some images, add a tooltip would be nice. Let's say remove black streaks from gutters. Okay, and now we've got the variables. So for house washing, the variables that I have set are house height, and this is a drop down. And I've got single story, 2-story, split level, 3-story. And the next question is house square footage, and that's just a number that the user enters. And then we've got house material, which we've got vinyl, brick, and stucco. You can see we set a price value for each of those. And then we are asking how many sides need washed. Full house, 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides, etc. All right, and then down here, we've got our formula. So we're taking our house height, multiplying it by our square footage, multiply that by material, and multiply that by number of sides. Now, this is an example of a very, very simple formula. I also have a slightly more complex formula. Let me show you a formula a bit more complex. I think kitchen exhaust cleaning. This one's a bit more complex. So this one there's asking quite a bit more information. You can see this one, you're using parentheses within parentheses. We're taking number of hoods, multiplying that by 250, plus number of fans, multiply that by 100, so on and so forth, right? So this is an example of a formula. And this formula is also actually pretty simple when you break it down. It's also fairly simple. My point I'm making is you can make these pretty complex. All right, now with that being said, let me just go in and show you an example. Let me refresh this page here. And I'm just going to select house washing. And we'll say 2-story, 2000. Oh yeah, here's the measure map too. I'm just going to pull up a random address here. It's commercial building, but here we go. I'll just show you how this works. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, you've probably used something like this before, but here, let me just measure this house here. I'm just going to go like that just for simplicity's sake. Okay, and let's see here. It's given us 2045. It's going to update right here in the house square footage. I'm going to say vinyl, and then let's say we want the full house. Enter my name, email address, and then I'm just going to enter a random address here. All right, and now it gives us our pricing. And you see 2,000. Now, because I didn't add the bullet points, it fills in the information that I selected right here, which is fine. And then here's the gutter brightening discount, or not discount, but upsell. You can see when I add that, it adds it to the thing right there. Discounts, we cover that in the other video. And that's pretty much it. So that's how the formula builder works. Now, if you're working on a formula and you're not ready for it to go live yet, you can just toggle it off, like, for kitchen exhaust cleaning, you can toggle it off. Now, I'll also cover the forms section here too. So this is where custom forms. This is where, let's say you do power washing as your primary business, but you also do Christmas light installation. Maybe you don't want to have your exterior cleaning Autobidder section bundled in with your lighting business. You may want to have that separate. That's where you can create a custom form and only include services that relate to holiday lighting, right? Whether commercial, residential, however you want to break that up. If you want to have tree lighting or bush lighting as its own service, you can do that. That's one way that you can do that. So yeah, that pretty much covers the forms. Like I said, I could make very long tutorial video going into the formulas, and my plan is to break this up into multiple different videos, just showing you different examples, creating pricing formulas for different services. I guess I'll briefly show you the AI tool. I actually have a way that I like to do it. I have I'm just going to create another video for that, and I'll make that video right after this one because that video might be kind of long, and it's a little bit unrelated to the primary subject of this video, which is showing you the features within the formula page. So with that being said, if you have any questions, please contact support. I'll be happy to help. Have a great day. Bye-bye.